So this is the Startership Challenge. We're off to go to a site visit. We're going to Abafazi Abesifikan. You're going to have to get Batandra to do the name.
We are on our way to a community garden in Guguletu Fezeka division. We're going to help lay down some manure. People are going to get their hands dirty.
What are you going to do with it? Hit Nava. If she keeps talking like she is, yeah.
It's reality TV, man.
Ouch! Ah! Weeding. Weeding and weeding and weeding. There's a lot of weeds in here. So we're basically just getting rid of all the weeds in amongst the cabbages. Make sure that they grow nicely.
This is a cabbage.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
We're weeding and we're also pulling out some of the cabbages.
That's too small. You tell me everything that's small is the weed.
Well, for me, I think Startership's all about how can you do something today, as opposed to seeing entrepreneurship as something that you want to do in 5 or 10 years' time.
When everyone arrived, the energy, the excitement, and I knew that what we always say, that it's just about bringing fellows together and building a community.
People are very skeptical about what are fellows going to do, what are we going to do as fellows, and I think this gives people an opportunity to experiment and try it out and really see what happens when we collaborate and start to believe in it and start to make it a tangible thing.
The thing that we keep saying, that you will never find people who are more aligned to the things that you want to do anywhere other than within this community. That's very true.
The best resource we have is the community. So you've got a whole bunch of skilled people who can contribute.
I think this weekend has been about reconnecting and then starting. So it's rekindling something that's been existing for 7 years and then starting something new.
So the Startership Challenge is basically a condensed, compacted, high-intensity version of the ideation process. So we get fellows together and then expose them to a topic and give them experts in the field to give them background and context, and then we unleash them to come up with ideas that they think can solve the brief.
We've heard the stories, we've read the books, we've blogged, we've Facebooked, we've tweeted, but now it's time for us to actually engage and, wear the boots, dig the holes, plant, do what we need to do to be active in that entrepreneurial space and move the movement forward.
Yeah, you see actually what's happening on the ground, see what's going on, you get your hands dirty. I think that's the whole point of it, get your hands dirty.
And the other old ladies.
We started the project because of unemployment. We didn't have money, we didn't have the bread to put on the table for our families.
We sort of take for granted the beginning of a process. So, it links in very nicely with Startership in that you go and you plant something, you watch it grow, but you can't just leave it. You kind of have to take care of it. So it's important lessons, eh?
I just thought it would be really cool to show the two different sides of South Africa, an urban farming initiative from totally different worlds.
Welcome to the Oranjezig City Farm. This is a community project. A group of residents less than a year ago got together and they decided that they wanted an alternative food system for their children and for themselves. This is a heritage site. 300 years ago there was a farm established by a Dutch guy called Pieter van Breda, and he fed half of the Cape Colony fruit and vegetables. And so what we've done here is simply resurrect what was here originally. People are yearning for this kind of lifestyle again. Get back to your roots, get back to how your grannies and grandpas and before them, how they used to buy their vegetables.
We're very far removed from the soil that gives us our beef stroganoff and our chicken pie and our can of Coke. In the urban context, we often think that we are food secure because there's plenty of food around us. But actually the issue is not so much whether there's enough food, it's about whether we have access to that food. And then it's about how we choose to use that food. And there are many reasons why we choose to use food in a way that isn't healthy for us and undermines our food secure status. You have to understand the total food system, and you need to understand where you as the entrepreneur fit within that system. And when you can understand where you have the most leverage, you can identify where within your circle of influence the problems are and the breakages are, and then you can tailor make your own solution to fix that one problem.
Our idea is to replicate the benefits that accrue to Stockville members once a year, and we want to turn that into every month.
We were quite nervous about presenting to the E-Squared board now, or the trustees. We weren't quite sure what was going to be expected of us, because there's a negative perception around farming in the urban townships because it's seen as the poorer man's activity. So we have what we call a veggie stack, which is a kind of vegetable stack that will allow people to grow vegetables in a very small space.
There has been a lot of out-of-the-box thinking. Fellows have pushed themselves this time and come up with things that you literally would be like, what? And as you think more and more about it, you go like, it's a brilliant idea.
So if you think about rabbit meat, it's got the lowest fat, lowest cholesterol, lowest calories, and it's got the highest protein.
It's essentially a township rabbit exchange, farming rabbits instead of chickens.
I want to make a statement. No rabbits were harmed in the creation of this presentation.
I winged it so hard, like I was so nervous because I didn't practice it. That was actually my first run, so it seemed like it went well.
Up to you guys to realize this is your own. I think one of the incredible ideas from Alan Gray is then to say, okay, once you've been out there working, in case you really want to create some business and a successful business, I will create capital, which then can be used by E-Squared to fund your business.
I'm excited about the fact that fellows are excited about their own community. I'm excited that they are owning the space. I'm excited by the level of engagement that is coming forth from them.
Being inspired is about being spurred into action. And I think that's been a big thing for a lot of people. We've come to a point where we've realized that it's time to be active.
And it's been great in that it gave me an opportunity to work with the other fellows. So it develops a sense of trust that's very necessary if we're going to work on future business deals together or business projects together, because we are each other's best assets.
All of us have different dreams, different things that we want to do, but I think the fundamental is high impact.
At the end of the day, the responsibility is ours as the fellows. I mean, I think that the foundation can provide like an enabling environment for us, but I think for the rest of it, it's really up to the fellows to really come together and discuss ideas, share ideas, agree, disagree. I think it's through that really we really build a community.